Johannesburg in South Africa. South Africa's Minister of Health, Dr. Motsoaledi, says criminal syndicates would not have succeeded in looting funds at the Thembisa Hospital if they did not have the backing of government employees. The health minister was responding to the Special Investigating Unit's report into corruption and maladministration at the Thembisa Hospital. The SIU says about 2 billion rand has been lost to tender irregularities and fraud at the Thembisa Hospital, and this could escalate as investigations continue. And for more on this, we are joined on the line by author of The Shadow State, Why Babita Deokaran Had to Die, a book on the corruption at the hospital, which led to the murder of whistleblower Babita Deokaran. We are joined on the line by Jeff Wicks, who is going to give us an update as to exactly how all of this unfolded and to the point that we're at present day today. Jeff, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Good afternoon, Lulu. Thank you for having me.
Now, for those who may not have been following the story, who was Babita Deokaran and how did she come upon the corruption at Thembisa Hospital?
So Babita Deokaran was the Gauteng Health Department under which Thembisa Hospital falls. She was the chief accountant for that arm of the state. And she, in 2021, in August of 2021, reported anomalous spending out of that facility. And within 19 days of making her report plain, she was assassinated. We know that then she flagged 850 million rand in dubious payments. That number has now grown threefold to more than 2 billion rand. And as you mentioned in your prelude, a key part of this extraction syndicate and the way they were enabled to operate were pliant health department officials. The SIU has identified a number of individuals who were paid collectively 122 million rand in kickbacks. So the depth and depravity of the corruption and the extraction syndicates at Thembisa Hospital was on full display today.
Now, Jeff, you're on assignment covering the release of the report. As one of the first journalists to break the story, what are your thoughts on the report that was released by Minister Motsoaledi?
Well, I think the report confirms many of our findings, and bear in mind we made these findings more than 2.5 years ago. I think the report represents some sort of progress and a milestone in effect that the SIU is continuing with the investigation and picking up where we left off. So that's heartening to know that something is being done. What gives me pause, however, is just acknowledging that this has been an investigation that has now run for 3 years and will likely run for many more years. Just understanding the scale and complexity of the thing. Now, what should distress all of us, especially in the South African context, is that if this was able to be executed with such devastating effect at one hospital, what is happening at the others?
And I just want to highlight as well, you also just mentioned it very briefly, the fact that it took the SIU to put this report together, the investigation process, and yes, the investigations are continuing, but 2.5 years. Is that not too much time to ensure that there is accountability? Shouldn't the time be shortened in some way?
Well, absolutely. In a just, sane world, yes, absolutely. The fact that it's taken this long, and the length of time taken to investigate complex matters is fluid. It's essentially how long is a piece of string. But what we must acknowledge is that the length of time taken to exact consequence for the individuals who divert public funds for their own benefit enables this culture of impunity and enables it to continue elsewhere.
Do you think that there are going to be investigations into other public facilities where there may even still be a possibility of such happening?
I should hope so, considering with our own investigation at News 24, we've already proven that the same syndicates operating at Thembisa Hospital were receiving payments from at least 5 other hospitals in Gauteng alone. So that tells you the reach of these networks, even though they haven't really been tracked outside of Thembisa Hospital by the SIU.
And just looking at the family of Babita Deokaran, they've in the past expressed fury over the lack of accountability following her murder. Is the report now sort of speaking to any of that?
No, certainly not. Accountability will be criminal charges and arrests. And it's been now 4 years since Babita's assassination, and we've seen a sum total of 0 arrests as regards the corruption that she first found.
And just also the fact that Vusi Kat Matlala is also highlighted and named as being one of the leaders or the heads of all this corruption that's unfolded. And he is behind bars. What do you think we're more than likely to see going forward?
Well, I think Vusi Muzi certainly has a case to answer in respect of the procurement out of Thembisa Hospital. We know of at least one instance where he used fraudulent documents to get that money. So it's up to the SIU to now make that formalized in the form of evidence and to exact accountability. What it certainly should result in is further criminal charges for Mr. Matlala, who already has quite a count stacking up against him.
Well, Jeff, it's been a pleasure. Let's leave it there for today. Thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's Jeff Wicks joining us there on the line, and he was just highlighting, the big story that has broken today with the SIU releasing a report with regards to the Thembisa Hospital and how this hospital was used to siphon billions out of it. A lot unfolding on that front. It is 25 after 12 Central African Time.
Yo.